You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go star season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Star season to go and you know those crystal truths. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Star season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Star season to go and you know those crystal truths. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the roads. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome. I'm excited. Are you? I'm excited. You know, life is a box of chocolates, and we're the chocolatiers, right? You heard that, right? Forrest Gump said it. Mama told me, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But you're the chocolatier. You're the one mixing it up and putting the pieces in there and then getting to decide which pieces you're going to use for life. Right? You get to take a bite of your own chocolate that you created and decide if you like it or not. You get to decide if you want to keep on eating it and producing from that, or if you want to spit it out inside the little wrapper and then throw it away and start over again with a different piece. Life is like a box of chocolates, but you're the creator of the chocolate. Your name is all over the box. And you're the main ingredient in all of your chocolate. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, sprinkles, nougat. You are. You really are. I know that you're looking for me on my Instagram, but it didn't connect, and we're not going to worry about it. You're following Marcus on his Instagram. You're following us on our YouTubes. You're on his Facebook. So we're getting through to you. That's what energy does. You get to utilize it when needed. It's everywhere all at once and not at once. And you go, Sandy, what do you mean by that? Well, energy is just what it's meant to be when you call it into form. That's all Ra is saying. Ra is saying that energy is here to serve. How do you want to serve? How do you want it to serve you? It can serve you in positive polarity and it can serve you in negative polarity. How do you want it to serve you? That's all Ra is saying. We came to serve you. How do you want us to serve you? Are you ready? The unknown is only it's only unknown because it's unsaid by you. What do you want to say to energy for it to create for you? What do you want to say? Welcome, Marcus. Welcome. What do you want to say?
Wow. Yeah, that's a heck of a way to welcome me into the space. Wow. Thank you for that opening. Where do I go after that?
Everywhere. Take us everywhere.
It's just really wonderful. This is really wonderful, the way that, really grateful for this space, and I'm just really grateful for the openness and the willingness for you to be able to allow these messages to come through. And it's really a relief. It's really rejuvenating to be able to be a part of this. And I'm just really grateful. Grateful for where I am today. Things that I've been through and I've been able to share with others. And it's really a beautiful thing when we can be present with each other and just really be present with our words, be present with the things that we are doing and acting upon, and also just kind of slowing down a little bit and getting to really feel the moment of, maybe there really isn't anything more than this moment right now. And being in this moment, wow, it's so speechless. The complexity of our beings, and not just the complexity of our beings, but the interwoven blanket of unconditional love that is infinitely spiraling through our beings, through every choice and every action. Quite fascinating, I'd say. So I just got back home from having multiple interactions like this in person at a gathering where I'm going to be hosting my retreat Saturday. And I was just connecting with some new faces, and we just got to talking about hermetics, multidimensionality, the law of one, and just different philosophies and views. and just a very beautiful neutral space of equality and just sharing thoughts and sharing our philosophies in a space where we're unified and realizing that, there's space for everybody to share. And that sharing is just, it's a freedom of speech, and it can just be taken or leaving. It doesn't have to be personal. And it's beautiful to see that. And through those conversations, it really drew people to wanting to come out Saturday and come out to the retreat. And some of them even clearing out their day and everything to come out. And it really, this is something that in this moment I'm getting to share from this experience. And it's some wisdom of patience. Not just wisdom of patience, but also having pure intentions as we go through our days and go through our life. So, I could have easily just went to this gathering and kept talking about, the retreat and try to get people to come out to the retreat. But I chose not to. That wasn't my focus at all. My focus was just genuine human connection, being there and just being a vessel of love, support. And through that, without even desiring or even trying, I just naturally was able to be myself, and those people drew towards me through me being myself authentically to then want to come to the space. So it just really showed me something about how when we authentically be ourselves and we don't try to prove it to anybody, we don't try to be fulfilled by being ourselves, but truly just being ourselves in our nature, we can oftentimes spark really beautiful conversations. We can share things that people may not have typically in their life. And through that, it can help really deepen and give a spark to someone in their connection. So those moments like that, very subtle, but quite shifting. And I'm grateful for those. So that's why I'm a little bit behind, but not behind, maybe in a linear, but not linear fashion, at the same time as a paradox, dual, but non-dual, all simultaneous at one time. But we're here now, ready for the messages of Ra.
We're here now. We're here now. There is no behind or out of time, or unless you want it to be. Get that. If you wake up late in the morning and you acknowledge that you're waking up late and you're running behind, then guess what? The universe is going to say your wish is my command. But if you wake up and you go, oh, I'm up, I'm ready, you might look at the clock time and might see that you might be 5 minutes, behind. But if you don't acknowledge it and you just go with the flow, then the universe says, okay, I'll give you some flow to go with. Right? But it's up to you. Just like Marcus says, he went with the flow. And the universe gave him this glorious movement of he danced with the universe. He danced cosmically with the universe and how the universe was showing him what was now and not now, all at the same time. Right? Now and not now, all at the same time. Do you know, I'm going to tell you what I do. I have a friend that's in Australia. And my body naturally wakes up somewhere between 2 and 3 so that we can talk to each other on the same day. Her evening is my early morning, but we get excited because the universe is having us talk to each other on the same day, and she's all the way around the world down under. Did you hear me? All the way around down under, and we talk to each other and we say to each other, "Happy Friday." That's our now moment, and we're excited because we're multidimensionally crossing cosmic lines. That's all Ra is talking about. That they're dimensionally in another vibratory physicality for them, but they were talking to us through this book in a now moment. Now. However you want to take it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Isn't that exciting? That they can still be channeling to us now. And this book was written, what, in the early 60s? 70s? And there were 5 volumes, 6 volumes. And it wasn't just through this law of one. Ra has been channeling through multiple people so that they are always in a now moment. Holy moly. Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Joker.
Some say time is an illusion.
It is. It's what we make it. Don't get it wrong. We are in third density, and third density time was created expressly for third density. Why? So we could change it. So we could harness it and create it. Not get used to it, but if you want to, go ahead and get used to it because that's your prerogative. What's that song? It's my prerogative. It's your prerogative to take time and make it anything you want it to be. Right? So I'm going to start with not the question, but I'm going to start with what Ra says as an answer to a question. Ra says, I am Ra. The thoughts of an entity, its feelings or emotions, or at least all of its behavior are the signpost for teaching/learning of self by self. You've heard us all say the divine is seeking itself in, through, and as you. And it's seeking itself through self as it sees itself through you. So everything you go through, whether you're on the polarity, you're on your higher polarity, or seeking something or learning something from a lower polarity, it is the divine seeking itself through you. It's not seeking a right or wrong. It's seeking itself as you. It's being your higher being and being you at the same time. Ra goes on to say, in the analysis of one's experiences in a duro cycle, an entity may access what it considers to be inappropriate thoughts, behaviors, or feelings and emotions. In examining these appropriate activities of mind, body, and spirit complexes, the entity may then place these distortions in the proper vibrational ray and thus see where work is needed. Where work is needed. Hence, we go back to time being an illusion. Yes, an illusion is something that you can take and create from. What do you want to create with your time? Do you want to step into a time loop or out of a time loop? You're the creator. If you're accessing lower polarities, there's a reason for it. Who do you want to be as you're accessing this lower polarity of energy, of lack, of hate or malice, of discontent or unhappiness, of illness, of what do you want to, what are you attempting to learn from it? What are you aware of that you need to acclimate to or from, as the divine is seeking itself through you? What work is needed? For me, there's a lot that's going on in my life, but I had to ask, why now? Well, why now is because I'm teaching others how to blend homeopathic medicines and herbs and stuff with going to the doctor and not making your doctor your enemy, because that which you resist persists. So therefore, I'm learning how to do it myself through what I'm going through. That's who I am, because I want to serve others. How do I serve others? I have to know that what I'm telling them is correct. This is what I'm doing, and this is what you could possibly do. I can't guarantee for you it might work, but for me, this is what I did. There's no right or wrong to how you live life. This is what Ra is saying. Everything is living, making a mistake, and trying it again a different way. You're the creator. The questioner then asked, in the last session, you said that when the self is conscious to a great enough extent of the workings of the catalyst of fasting and the techniques of programming, it then may through concentration of the will and the faculty of faith alone cause reprogramming without the analogy of fasting, diet, and other analogic bodily complex disciplines. What are the techniques of programming which the higher self uses to ensure that the desired lessons are learned and attempted by the third density self? Right? Ra says, I am Ra. There is but one technique for this growing or nurturing of will and faith, and that is the focusing of attention. The spiritual attention span of most of your people is that of the child. Thus, it is a matter of wishing to become able to collect one's attention and hold it upon the desired programming. This, when continued and strengthened, with this, when continued, strengthens the will. The entire activity can only occur when there exists faith that an outcome of this discipline discipline is possible. For me, and I get this now, is we are either destined to be for something or against something. And our bodies are in tune with that. When you resist something so much, it tends to keep coming back around to say, why do you keep resisting me? What's your intention about that which you resist? And is it for your highest or greatest good? Only you can ask those questions. Only you can practice the discipline that it takes to grow and expand. Only you can sit at your center and ask your higher self, what does this mean now for us? Your triune self, your body, your mind, and your whether you call it your soul or your spirit, your higher being or your spirit, what does it mean for us? Discipline is just another word that means the intention that you give to create. Intention, Ra says, intention plus energy manifest. Intention plus energy manifest. I'm going to say it again. Your intention plus your energy creates your manifestation, whether it's lower level manifestation or higher level manifestation, you create it. And when it's time to change something, only you can change it. But you have to desire the program and have the intention or the embodiment to change it. Back to you, Marcus.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what's interesting is even if you were to make a choice, that's you over there, Sandee. Say you were to make a choice, and that choice that you made was you're never going to do another episode again. Okay, so you just made that choice. But although you just made that choice, we both have an individual. So with that being said, there will still be a choice that I make.
Yes.
And that right there is a prime, easy example of how we all have these choices of free will. And even if somebody else is making a choice out of their free will, you still have your own free will to make your own choice. Now, yeah, you may have to kind of alter your thinking or alter the way that you're thinking of your choices based off of whatever else is going on during that time. But the fact is that you still have the power of a free will choice. No matter if something changes in the moment, no matter if the most unexpected thing happens in the moment, there will still be a whole entire plethora of timelines, of choices to choose in that moment.
Yeah. Because guys, you know, here's the thing. we have this story that we're writing. I'll use me as an example. I have this script, and I'm the lead character in my story. I'm the writer, I'm the producer, I'm the director, I'm the set dresser, and I've set up all these different scenarios of people in my story. But guess what? On the flip side of that 45 record, and I said 45 record or album, on the flip side of that, there's a story that my characters are writing about themselves, about and for themselves, and I'm placed in a whole different position. So even though I have intention and energy in my story and where people are placed, they have a free will option to opt out of the story. It doesn't change my energy scenario. It just says, it says to me that I have new placement. I have new placement. That means, oh, there's a character that dropped out. And how am I going to, and how am I going to rewrite it? That's all Ra is saying. My intention still has to be the same, because now I need to write a new character if I want to write a new character in, or not. See, we've been told our whole life that everything is directed to us outside of us. What happens to you happens to you. Outside of us is outside. Everything outside determines everything inside. But I'll just ask the question, what if we got that backwards? What if we've been taught backwards? Not wrong or not right. Just what if we've been taught that information and it's been backwards? What do you do then? All of a sudden, the possibility of learning something different is given to you. No right or wrong to it, just different. Just, oh, wow, what if I change the scenario? I was always that kid that, you know, listened to the 45, a Motown hit that went to the top of the charts, bought the 45 or even the album. And then I was always that kid that would turn the record over and listen to the flip side, and found out that, wow, I really like that. And kind of wondered, why didn't that top the charts? You know, it was just a different way that I got to see it. It was a different way that I got to apply my intention, utilize my energy, and create something totally different. That's all Ra is saying. You, Sandee, want healing, then be intentional about it. In everything, in my form and my formless, in my energetic from within, and the things that I can use from outside without resisting them, finding out where I can take something in and I can alchemate it. Everybody's talking about being an alchemizer and being a creator. Well, do you want to create? It starts with you. That's all Ra is saying. Your intention, your energy, your ability to learn, your desire to change, your desire to see the catalyst and say, what am I going to do with it? Am I going to go, woe is me about it? Or am I going to go, whoa, here's something I can create from. Here's something I can reshape. Here's something I can mold into the image that I want. What do I see? I get to be my own Picasso. What do I see? That's all that Ra is saying. Is step in to your desire. If you're learning a lesson and you found out you're learning a lesson, what do you want to be aware of that lesson? Awareness, if you found out that you are the embodiment of awareness, and awareness is aware, and you were born awareness, what do you want to be aware of? If you want to play guitar or piano, but you're not in the position to pay somebody to teach you, are you aware that you can go grab books and teach yourself? Are you aware that you just have to be patient with yourself and be a good reader? Or that you can go online and find a video that somebody is teaching the notes on the piano, and all you got to do is follow the notes. And if you really want to learn it, are you intentional about it? Are you willing to endure? That's all Ra is saying. And it's up to the individual. He calls us entities. They call us entities. We, the entity, have the ability to create through intention and energy, and the ability to endure and give yourself grace. Right? The questioner says, can you mention some exercises for helping to increase the attention span? You ready for Ra's answer? I am Ra. Such exercises are common among many mystical traditions of your entities. The visualization of a shape or a color, which is of personal inspirational qualities to the mediator, is the heart of what you call religious aspects of this sort of visualization. The visualization of simple shapes and colors, which have no innate inspirational quality to the entity, form the basis for what you may call your magical traditions. Whether you image the rose or the circle is not important. However, it suggests that one or the other path towards visualization be chosen in order to exercise this faculty. This is due to the careful arrangements of shapes and colors which have been described as visualizations by those steeped in the magical traditions. We're going to go back to Marcus to talk a little bit about visualization, right? Ross said shapes and circles and colors and being intentional. What do you see yourself creating? You want a car? What color is the car? You want a car? What shape is the car? Is the car 4-door or 2-door? Is the car a stick or an automatic? Is the car vintage or brand new, brand spanking new? Do you want a car that's totally paid for, no payments? Can you see yourself driving up the coast? Can you see the coast? Can you see one side being a mountain and the other side being the water, and you driving with the window down and your hands waving out? What's your visualization? What's the color? What does the sky smell like as you're driving? Is it raining or is the sun always shining? Do you have a sunroof or a moonroof? Right?
Are you trying to have us time travel?
I'm trying.
Well, time traveling is quite an interesting thing.
It is. Tell us about it.
So it appears that through the principle of mentalism, we are able to mentally travel into different spaces of quantum energy and time. And as we travel through these mental spaces, we are able to project them through our third eye chakra center. And through the third eye chakra center, we perceive and hallucinate our reality through our human vessel. And as it is said, we are multidimensional beings. And being multidimensional beings, we are able to take one dimension and form that dimension into another dimension. Through this, we call it manifestation. We call it transformation. And it's really like taking that in for a moment. If you really like to, maybe even just take a breath for a moment and just take a deep breath into the heart and feel into your heart just this living moment of being given, not just given, but being in something of no separation whatsoever, to the very essence of all that is. Within all of our atoms and all of our cells, into the whole entire form that we are in and experiencing consciously as. So I just want to remind us that we are indeed time travelers. And with that being said, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself on the journey. because there's no destination, but there's a whole lot to experience and a whole lot to indulge in.
Enjoy yourself on the journey, right? Enjoy yourself on the journey. If you're sitting at the seat of your soul, not to say it's an easy thing to do, but when you do it enough, you get to ask embodying questions to your higher self about you, about your envisioning, about your vision boards, about your conscious questions about yourself, what you want to do and how you want to do it, how you see it being done. No right or wrong to it, just how you see it. Doesn't mean anyone else is going to see it exactly the same way you do, but how do you see it? Do you see yourself as a perfect vessel to fall in love with someone? When you're doing that vision board about who your partner is going to be, are you seeing yourself as a perfect partner? If you've got to say, I want that perfect partner, are you envisioning yourself as part of that vision board about being that perfect partner for your perfect partner? Can you envision yourself walking along, taking out the time from building your empire as a heart, your business, to take long walks on a beach, to smell the fresh air and hold your partner's hand, or to have that embodiment and that intention to start a family? This is all that Ra is talking about, is about you visualizing what you want. And that includes visualizing how much you want it, how much you desire it. Can you taste it in your mouth? Do you think about it in the morning when you wake up, and all through the day, just hints of it? And then when you lay your head down on your pillow, do you dream about it? So much so that when you wake up again with it in even more intensity. So much so that you don't even need a vision board there. You're the walking embodiment of your vision about you and what you want. That's all Ra is saying. It's unique to you. You can be taught the skill, but you have to embody how to use the skill. Make it part of you. The questioner says, as a youth, I was trained in the engineering science, which includes the necessity for three-dimensional visualization for the process of design. Would this be helpful as a foundation for the type of visualization which you are speaking of, or would it be of no value? And I'm going to show you, I'm actually reading this book. You just don't see it. But one day I'm envisioning having a much bigger space where you can see everything. Ra says, I am Ra. To you, the questioner, this experience was valuable. To a less sensitized energy or entity, it would not gain the proper increase of let's see, of concentrative energy. Ooh, I have to pronounce that. Concentrative energy. It's spelled CONCENTRATIVE. The questioner then asks, then the less sensitized energy should use, and he has a ... What should use? What should he use for the proper energy? So he changes the question. He's gonna say something, and then he decides to ask the question. I am raw. In the less sensitized individual, the choosing of personally inspired images is appropriate, whether this inspiration be the rose, which is a perfect beauty, a cross, which is a perfect sacrifice, the Buddha, which is the all-being in one, or whether whatever else may inspire an individual. So basically, Ross says it's up to the individual to choose their inspiration. It's up to you to choose your what you want and why you want it, and the amount of intention you want to put in it, or the amount of embodiment you want to create with it, so that the universe could say, give Sandee more. Sandee wants unconditional health in her body. Give her more, because she's visualizing it. She's embodying it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's an individual thing. You can have a collective group, and you can have people holding space for you, but you have to bring you to what you want for you. Right? You can have people praying for you, for you be of sound body. But if you haven't embraced you in that visualization of health or wealth or well-being, right? That's all Ra is saying. It's individualized. What works for the questioner is not necessarily going to work for someone else. But yet the questioner says that it's of a less sensitized entity. It's just someone less sensitized entity is that they may not be well versed. It's like us telling somebody that, oh, you don't need any of that man-made medicine. Stop taking all your man-made medicine and do it holistically, and then your body will heal itself. But if they don't have the embodiment to do that, you could, but you shouldn't tell them to stop taking everything that they're taking at the energy level that they're at, because they may not be at the healing level of holistic medicine, and they may be vibrationally at a healing level of man-made medicine. But at least it's keeping them alive until such time that they can grow, shift, and expand into being more of a centered entity for their health and well-being. Is that a good example? Let me know. Back to you, Marcus.
principle that permeates all aspects of existence in spiritual evolution. Free will, according to the raw material, is the inherent right of every being to make choices that shape their reality, experiences, and spiritual journey. This principle is so fundamental that it is often referred to as the first distortion of the law of one, indicating that it is the first divergence from the pure unity of the infinite creator, allowing for the manifestation of individual experiences and the diversity of creation. The law of one posits that the infinite creator, in its desire to know itself more fully, created a universe where each fragment of consciousness,
Hmm.
whether it be a planet,
Maybe.
a plant, an animal, or a human being, has the ability to make choices. These choices range from the mundane to the profound,
Hmm.
influencing the evolution of the soul and the collective consciousness. Free will is what allows for the infinite variety of experiences and perspectives that exist within the universe, each contributing to the creator's self-understanding. At the core of free will is the ability to choose between paths of spiritual growth. In the law of one, this is often framed as the choice
Hmm.
between service to others and service to self. Service to others involves actions and intentions aligned with love, compassion, and the upliftment of all beings, whereas service to self focuses on control, power, and the enhancement of one's own status, often at the expense of others. This fundamental choice is not merely a matter of
Hmm.
morality, but is central to the process of spiritual evolution, as it determines the polarity of a being's consciousness and their alignment with different densities of existence.
Yes.
Hmm.
Thank you for that.
Densities of existence. The exercise of free will is
Well,
Mm, mm. So, peeps, what do you think of that? The free will is your opt out clause for anything that you decide you want to change. Mm.
that's right.
Service to self. Our higher beings came with the opportunity to choose whether it wanted to be in a polarity of service to others, which therein service to others means that it's service to self, because while you're servicing others, you're part of the wholeness of others. Or you get to choose the negative polarity, which is service to self only, at the cost of all others. And our higher beings got the opportunity to choose that. Our form body and our conscious mind weren't the only ones that got to choose, that had to utilize free will. Our higher beings got to do that through our bodies. Our higher beings get to decide how many times they want to have a human experience to quote unquote, maybe possibly get, but as we human beings think that our higher beings get to choose it till they get it right. But there's no right or wrong. There's just the choice that they get to, that they're seeking to be and experience. And then when they've done that, then they get to try again at doing it a different way, utilizing a different body. When at 100, and I plan to live till I intend to live till I'm 140 plus one, right? And then when this body is done, my higher being gets to choose, if it so wants to do it all over again with a totally different body. Probably not as gorgeous as mine, but okay. Right? Nah, I'm just kidding. But if you know what I mean, my higher being gets the opportunity to choose if it wants to do it as it's moving up the polarity levels to merge back with the divine. It gets to decide at 6 density before it merges back with the divine to turn around and go, no, I want to do this shit again because there's something else that I still want to learn. Or like Ra did, as they finally merged to that 6 density social complex entity and had the opportunity to merge back with the divine, the Ra said, we want to go help Earth consciousness because we heard the call. And Ra said, okay, let's go. The divine said, okay, see you. And Ra said, be back soon. And here we are reading book, finishing up book 2 so that we can embark on book 3, because Ra has been a busy little bee. But our higher beings get this chance to make choices and utilize our body to do it. But guess what? The opt-out clause is we got free will to make it interesting for our higher beings, to change the whole scenario and the whole story. So those people that are servicing self at the cost of others, guess what? That was their choice. That was their choice of their, that they're in a vibrational expression of their higher being, and they haven't gotten to the point where they can change the story. Or maybe they got to the point and they decided they didn't want to change the story because that was their expression. But their expression doesn't have to be yours if you don't want to opt into that story. So if you don't like what's going on with politics, if you don't like what's going on with Big Pharma, if you don't like what's going on with the negatives of the world, you can opt out and see the world through a different conscious lens and say, I want to only see the good things that are happening in the world. Because Ra is saying there are good things that you can focus on. What are you going to focus on? What are you going to, what is your intention? Do you intend to see all those people that are healing, all those people that are growing, all those people that are expanding? Or do you only want to see the negative in the world? That's up to you. That's your vision board. What do you want to see? He told the questioner, you see it one way and somebody else is going to see it differently. And it's up to them to see it that way. What's your vision board going to look like? Holy moly, Batman. My higher being had a choice. I remember when I found out, when I was reading this, the law of one, and I was reading about the negative and positive polarities that my higher being got to choose from, and I sat down and I meditated and I asked my higher being, what can I do for you? That changed my whole scenario of how I viewed myself, viewed my body and my conscious mind, of how can I be of service to my higher being, knowing that my higher being gets to make choices through me as it is seeking itself in the higher and lower polarities. That I'm not a potential mistake that's constantly happening all the time. The situations and circumstances that are happening around me and within me are for purpose of learning. And then when I finally got that perfection is overrated, and that my divine within me is learning from me through imperfections, and through that I get to see myself as growth and expansion, viewed by myself, for myself, through myself, not by someone else, then I get to ask, what more can I do for my higher being? Doesn't mean you have to do it that way. It means you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. All right. So here's the book that I share with you called, it's, hold on a second. I think I picked up the wrong one. It's about how energy works, right? And I was, the divine wants me to read what the 4th level energy is, which is called Earth. It says, we have the Earth energy, the ones used by humans in this reality. There are the energies that create matter and your Earth's physics and sciences. They are pretty much what everybody uses all the time. Earth energy or Earth's energies are very dense and solid compared to other energies. They don't move very fast and they're not very flexible. These are the basic energies that you work with, but remember that all of the energies originate from soul passion. You were born with it. Your higher being came into this body and brought everything that you would need. And its passion for experiencing this density. It chose you and your body to experience this. You were a perfect choice. Even if perfection is overrated, your beingness, your higher beingness chose you for this exciting adventure, this soul passion. It goes on to say, they have been scaled down, descending and condescending levels by level, but they are all come from the same origin, your passion, and that you should tell you something that is very important, that you are very important. You are on purpose with the purpose. You are on purpose with the purpose. Your higher being chose this beingness of you on purpose, with the purpose. It may have forgotten just for a while because it's veiled, but in its awakening, it allows you your free will, even though it has will of its own, to make a choice. That's why it's unique. That's why the questioner is going to have one way of visualizing, and you're going to have a different way of visualizing. That's why Sandee is going to have a different way of visualizing than Marcus. Or Lula. Or Casey. Or how many ever of you that are in the comments, you're unique. You're in your vision of what you want and who you want to be is going to be different than anybody else on the planet. Back to you, Marcus. Unique and wholeness.
With this being said, I invite you all to take a moment, and in this moment, we're going to explore a little bit, right? Explore a little bit within ourselves. And we're going to be a little bit present with the feeling of our energy inside. And if you wish to join me in this exploration of being present with self, it's going to guide us through a very short, connective meditation just to help us feel that connection with Source within. So feel free, if you wish to receive, to get comfortable. And if you would like to not receive, that is okay, and you may do so as well. So we begin, we can either sit or lay down. Then we're going to check in with our body, give ourselves this unconditional love of just being present and checking in, making sure that we are relaxing our shoulders down to the side. And then relaxing our jaw, making sure we're not clenching our teeth. Relaxing our fingers if we are balling our fist. And then relaxing our toes, making sure we're not curling them. And then focusing on the breath. Breathing in through the nose. drawing that breath all the way down the body, down to the earth. And breathing and exhaling out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Drawing the breath all the way down the body to the earth. Exhaling out of the mouth. As you continue to breathe, becoming lighter and letting go of any expectations. The breath, letting go of any obligations outside this present moment. Staying with the breath, feeling a crystal white light beginning to flow through the Kundalini or up through your chakras. Every breath raising and activating this crystalline energy. Just feeling it rise, feeling it in the stomach, through the heart chakra and the chest. Feeling it through the throat, through the forehead, and up to the crown. Staying with the breath. Staying with the breath. Just relaxing our being. Just letting go of the weight of the world. Letting go of the drama, the confusion, the pain. Letting go of the uncertainties. Just being here now. Dropping into the body. Staying with the breath. Ukata na ishiya na sutu ukupatiyashi I iana sutu ataya sieme ashikiata usaniana yashukoto ya ian si inekuata ikiana ata sikiana ushumukoto atiata yamanakota isineka umayashia natatawa pupuchui ata tikiata uputiana shikitea upapapata ipianata ushukutoa yamanatiata. Deep breath in through the nose. Feel it fill through the body. And release. Let's take a final big deep breath together. Anchor in these codes and integration, energy. And I just want to thank everyone for being present, whether it's live or in a replay in another space. Back to you, Sandee.
No tokai. Deo shoshona toku o. Deo so sonata e se no koate. Shono to o na kia kia no sheshe no te I kia shina. Se luku ta I ta. Ma dia so te gina shi se suluku utana te I. Palakia se sono toku a ne me ki palo. Paluku a le me hi she shuluku te e se noku a te e. Halake mato she nata e na ki o toku o le me ki shi se luku a le me ki. Tau sa toku a le me ki shi shuno toto ta e. Shuluku una. Shalabo a te bako o te chiusono. Chiusono ku une na ku ate. Shuluku ante e. Shalaku ate iuntaka ate kim chushionota. Shinstalaku otia no toko ali miki no tashia. Shalako umte e. Palaku shia no toko o. Shinoko o te kime chale miki. Sonoko umte em. Teshia no ko ale miki no to a. Yesena. Palaku ate. Shiloko o te imta io chola ma ko ale paluku o. Shiloko o ne me he sale peke de se na ke no ko ale peko solo ko ate se. Shiloko o shala shiloko ale peki ora e. Ambako o she solo ku se la ka le me ki ko le ki e so le me ki baby shower. Shalako alemi, Shiluku u shanataku oleme, Shilaku omta ye, Shilaku oleme, Alakuase, Shilaku anda, Shilaku alaye, Shila alemi, alemi, Yenta ye, Olaku o shalate ye, Shilotoku aledio sonaka, Alakiase. Palakosena, Satuta, love and light, wholeness, divinity, strength, growth, expansion, evolution. Oklakia says solo toko a, Siloko onebeki, Siloko aye sena, Siloku ujanata iata a de ia, Palakisena, des. Be you. Authentically you for you. Toshonataki. One heart. Yeso. Hashe. Yes. Batakoa. You are growth and expansion. You're worthy to be here. You came on this journey on purpose. Your growth and expansion, it's up to you. You can't do it wrong. You can't get it wrong. There's no one judging you. We've been told that, but there's no one judging you except you. Release yourself. Step into your liberation and enjoy your journey. If you don't like the way it feels right now, change it. That's the only constant in all this universe, is that change is going to happen. Be the creator of it. Join us next weekend for episode 34. Holy moly, we're on 34, man. What growth and expansion is happening to us right now in this now moment. I'd like to thank Ra. Thank you. I'd like to thank Marcus. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this experience. Thank each and every one of you for allowing me to be part of your experience. You wrote me into the script. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you for being you, Sandee. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in and joining us for another episode of Ascending Beyond Limitations, the Raw Material Law of One. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback in the replay or another time. And wow, what a beautiful way to end this space. And I'm just really grateful to have surrendered to that meditation and just really allow that spiritual light and energy to come through. And I trust that everybody that was here and present or will be in another space received beautifully some really beautiful light in that meditation to help complement the wonderful messages that have been channeled and shared with us in this dimensional realm. And what a way to end the night. And definitely go to bed on this note.
Definitely, so I can embark on dreams.
Shoo.
And know that when you sleep, the universe gives you an opportunity to recharge, reset, so that when you wake up in your now moment, you get to choose if you want to continue the previous now moment that you were in, or if you want to change it. It gives you a moment to reset. The universe says when you sleep, you recharge, you replenish. You get to reset. It gives you that moment. So when you wake up and you put your feet on the floor You put one foot at a time. One foot says thank, and the other foot says you, and then you say, let's get going. Let's be the creator. You get to decide that. You get to start again being wholeness and divine creation. And you get to create it all again. You get to choose it. You get to let it go. And guess what? You get to call it back if you don't want to let it go. Energy is saying, I want to serve you. Are you asking, are you telling the energy what you want it to serve you as? It's up to you. It's up to you. Do you want to go to sleep with sweet dreams? Lay that head on your pillow. You can create that too, baby. You're the creator. You can just, you can create some magnificent things. You don't have to get on a plane to fly anywhere at all. All you have to do is have a great imagination with intention, and you can create being on a beach in wherever you want to be, and it be real to you. Where do you want to go?
That's right.
That's right. Infinite possibilities, baby. Anyway, gotta go because guess what? I gotta go walk my dog, who has been patiently waiting for me to say sayonara, hasta luego, adios.
And on that note, I have two very simple quotes to close us out with. And the first one is, fear is an invitation to evolve. And the second quote, I love this one. This is a quote by good old Rummy. And this quote, to close out our space tonight, is, as you start to walk on the way appears.
Yes. One step at a time. One step at a time. Instead of looking way down, just focus on that intentional steps and enjoy the steps. Instead of looking at how far you have to walk, just look in front of you and allow the way to just open up. One step at a time. Be blessed, guys. Be the creators. Be the creators you were just meant to be. On purpose with the purpose, baby. And you were given energy. And the divine gave you everything you needed. You got the backpack infused in you. The divine. Yeah. The divine just didn't give you the backpack. The divine took it and fused it to you, into you, and said, anything you need is already there. Anything you can ever imagine is already there. So go be it. Right now, I'm going to go be my as Hawaiians may say it, my kapu for my dog, which is guardian. I think I pronounced that correctly. I think it's KAPU, which is guardian. And I'm going to give him the walk of his life. So thank you guys so much for being here. One love.
One love, everybody. Have a blessed night.